I did this entire look with just one product. Made by Mitchell's Color Case. It's all matte. I know this is gonna last forever and a half. Now I did use just like some mascara because I don't believe you can use this as mascara. I haven't tried, nor do I think I want to, but the entire face, like the brows, the eyeshadow, the liner, including the waterline, the bronzer, everything was done here. I don't have a blush shade here, but if you stay towards the end, all the way at the end, like after my goodbyes, I will test out the Cupid case for a nice blush shades. If you want to see how I did this look, just keep on watching. Before I begin, so I did try this product out once, and I feel like my skin was a bit too dry for it, and I do have a little bit of peeling skin. Don't know why I'm not really using any actives, but I haven't been taking care of my skin, so that's probably why. But I went ahead and used a heavier moisturizer for now, just to see how this works, but it's not like greasy or anything. It's just very, very hydrating. I feel like it'll help with how this kind of smooths out over my face. But I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to try to only use this for my face today, and if I can, that'd be pretty awesome. Now, I did buy 2 other products from Made by Mitchell, and I may use this as a blush or on my lips, but I won't touch the brow sludge today because I can do brows with this here, but I will be using some of the Made by Mitchell brushes that I have, and this is like an angled like brow liner brush, and then I have like a double-ended like lip brush, but this is really what I'm going to use to spread things kind of over my face. And then just another brush. This is the most useful one, honestly, in my opinion. It has a spatula on one end like this, and then this little brush on the end, and I just wiped everything off. I'm going to use similar colors anyway, so I think it should be fine. And then for my own brushes, I have my little concealer brush that I like to use just because I want to see how this performs with some of my regular brushes. Of course, my Makeup by Mary F4 brush, and just a blending brush just to blend out on my eyeshadow. Another note before we begin, these set down pretty fast, so I recommend keeping a towel on hand so you can wipe off the brush end and the spatula if need be. But I am going to go ahead and start with my eyebrows. Now, typically I use like a brow pencil for this, and like I use a micro tip one, but they have included is this one with the brow sludge. It's like a really small angled brush. I think this is absolutely perfect, and I'm just going to use this shade right here to color in my brows, and just throughout everything I'm going to be taking little bits at a time out of the palette, and I think the spatula is like just so handy. When I was researching or when I was looking up things on how to use this palette, especially from Mitchell himself, he recommends putting everything on the back of your hand so it can warm up. Now, typically when I use makeup on my clients, I actually just like to, I have like their own palette and like a spatula set, so I don't have to worry about contamination. Just using this as a mirror, but I have the brush pretty much loaded. But yeah, basically when I do makeup on clients, I keep a separate palette, and I try to avoid using the back of my hand for anything. Occasionally I will to warm up products like a cream cheek product or something, but I usually am able to do quite a bit on the palette itself, and then like when I'm done with one person, I'll just put the palette in my to clean bin or bag and move on with a new fresh palette. So this one I'll have to kind of see, like I do notice you do really need to warm it up to get this product to really glide on and melt to the skin, especially when I come do my face, which is fine. I mean, I can just sanitize my hand well, so just keep that in mind. But if you are using this for your personal use, you can just dip this right into your product. But just filling this in, I'm filling it in basically the same way I would with my pencil, which is like down here at the front, and then this missing little area on my arch. These have a fully matte finish, which I think is fantastic because I'm more of a matte makeup person. And this honestly, to mix your foundation shade, it can be handy, but I feel like for warmer, like olive undertones, you just don't really quite have that here. But I am able to get a shade close enough. I'm gonna use this, and just like a touch of this for a little bit of extra warmth. I'm trying to wipe it off right here. And again, I'm gonna really go hard on the mixing everything in right here. And I'm basically gonna have like a lighter shade to focus on the inner parts of my face, and then a like more deeper shade for the perimeters, so I can kind of like contour and create dimension, because this is very, very full coverage. Like, see, very, very full coverage, very creamy. Just work kind of fast. And what I feel helps, like, you know, I'm warming this on the back of my hand, and I'll just dab this all over. It's a little bit lighter. I'm gonna kind of dab it all over my face and kind of spread it. I don't want to completely rub it in with my fingers. I mean, you totally can if you want to. But I'm focusing this on the centers. But it's just, it really does melt into the skin if you warm it up properly. And then I can double it up in specific areas where I want more coverage. But I'm just trying to hit up the main parts of my face, typically where I'd conceal, like under my eyes, a little on my lid. But see, I'm still like rubbing it to keep it nice and warm. And see, it's already like setting. So just spread more with your finger and then just kind of smooth it out with any other makeup brushes. But I'm using this to also prime my lid as well. Even though I guess you don't really need to do this, but see, it's setting, so I don't like that I have to drag on my skin. If I were to use this just on me or any clients, I would mix another product in to make it a little bit looser, a little easier to work with. But at the moment, I just want to show a full face of only this, like just to show you can do a full face with this. So here's me skipping that. But if, you know, maybe I can do an updated tutorial on how to do that. But it's nice that with my fingers, I can kind of hit up these areas where brushes can't reach. But I mean, let's just wipe that there. But this does have like a peachier undertone than my skin. And then, I mean, I'm pretty much set, honestly. But see, it has a beautiful matte finish, which I truly love. And I'm just really using this brush just to kind of smooth things over, even though I pretty much do it with my fingers. But with this, you have to keep in mind, you have to work kind of fast. So if you're a beginner with this product, just use an oil-based product to thin it out. So you can use like a serum. I haven't tested any yet, but I can do that with my next tutorial with this and update you guys on the best one that I can find that's affordable. Because I do love that Made by Mitchell, he said he created these products and he wanted to keep everything super affordable. And I want to keep that going. I can't, like, you know, recommend this. And I got this on sale, like 30% off, I believe, on Beauty Bay's website. And, you know, I love doing all affordable looks. I mean, just, okay, this is so beautiful. Stunning. Okay. I think I actually want to just go ahead and do my eyes now. But I did notice earlier in the day, I did have some creasing, but that really could have just been my sunscreen. It's just not the best with a lot of makeup products. But again, I'm continuously like wiping off the back of my hand. I'm not using any makeup removers because I don't want it to interact with anything here, so you can see exactly how this looks. But now I'm going to go ahead and do some eye makeup. When I did my eyes earlier, I just don't feel like I was getting that depth and blend earlier. So I'm going to try a couple different things out because I only played with this once. And I was initially filming it, but I feel like there's so many things happening then, so I just scrapped all of it and I'm back. But I'll go ahead with this shade right here and just kind of warm up my crease. Again, I love that this is like dual-ended. So I can easily just warm everything up. And even with the spatula, I can kind of break it down. And you can feel how creamy it is. It's really, really nice. And then switching over to this side. And honestly, since this dried down so much, I really don't think any colors that I have on the brush will transfer because this is looking the exact same right now. But basically creating my crease, bringing that a little bit down my nose right here, or the sides of my nose. And see, because it's like the same kind of like cream product, it just melts into the skin. It's really nice. I feel like this is going to be a dream product for my professional kit, honestly. I'm not gonna bring this down my nose right now. This is just more to create a little bit of dimension on my eyes. When I do this, when I do my contour, I will be using more cooler tones, but I think that's where this color case shines, is when I mix colors to do contour and bronzer, because this palette has a really nice set of like warm and cool tones on this side, and just, I mean, there's a lot of like really light shades, so you can really vary these. It's amazing. If you are more beginning to makeup, just take some time, practice, and this really is a star product, and I really feel like this needs more attention because it's actually amazing. I think I'll use like this shade right here to deepen up my crease. Take a little bit of that out and warm it up. Just gonna put some on the outer corner. And since this is a thicker product, like you can see, it's kind of, you know, pulling at my skin a little bit. I'm trying to just dab everything on at this point. Quickly switching to my fluffy blending brush. Okay, yeah, that has a nice, you can work with this a little bit, just do it fast. Because I really don't want to pull my eyelid skin that much. Nice, okay. Okay, that's the key. Okay, let me grab more. That's how fast you have to do it. It's really nice. Just see if I use a liquid to kind of reactivate this, or just kind of keep it softer for longer, this would be so much easier to work with. But okay, I grabbed too much. Again, I'm adding a little bit at a time so I don't have a whole bunch of dry product on my hand. But warming that up, and it just feels so creamy when you warm it up. But it's crazy, like it's that creamy, but it sets so fast that it doesn't crease. But I'm just using that deeper brown to basically smoke out my bottom lash line. All with the same brush. I'm doing this all with this brush here, except for like the blending. So, you know, you can't line your waterline with this as far as I know. Maybe there's a separate product he has or a different method. But yeah, this is fully set right now. I'm gonna use basically this like lighter skin tone shade that I used on the center of my lid now. And I'm just gonna dab this on. Let me actually flatten the brush a bit. It's starting to get a little wonky. And it kind of has a little bit of a dry down time. Like if I open my eyelids right now, it might crease. Even though it's a very, very thick product, I'm gonna keep my eyes lowered like this just to give it that good shot. I haven't been the best with my skincare recently, but I have committed myself to do at least my oil cleanser and at least like my micellar water after that to get my makeup off, and then at least like one skincare thing, whether it be like applying an active or something. So my skin is gonna look a little better. It's just, my skin is just really, really dry. And I'm getting like random breakouts. That usually happens before my cycle begins. So that's gonna be great. I think my eyelids are pretty much set, and I did add a little bit more and just kind of like dabbing in a little bit more of this deeper brown shade right here. But now I'll go ahead and do my eyeliner. I'm gonna go ahead and use this black shade. I actually haven't used this one yet. This smaller brush just gives me more control. So that's just what I'm gonna use. And here we go. Ooh, I might have gotten too much product here. So I basically have the liner on my eyes, and I was able to get this on my waterline this time. You just have to really, really load the brush. But this just gives you such a nice wing. Now, some areas do look a bit patchy. So I'm letting it dry down for a little bit, and I'm gonna go over those areas one more time. It's fine. Okay, this isn't dry enough. I'm gonna let this dry and go ahead and do my other eye. So some areas I do have a little bit of like darkness missing. Now, if this doesn't fully set and you try to kind of top it off, it's going to lift off product. See, look how transfer proof this is. It's not coming off. I'm letting my eyeliner dry, and I'm basically creating that same shade that I basically put on the rest of my face. And concealing. So since I did pretty thin layers, I do have a couple areas that I do want to cover up a little better. I'm just using my fingers to dab this on. And then a couple of areas I kind of missed, like around my nose right here. And I guess this is just better with your finger if you're using this product alone. But it's just crazy how matte this looks. Like, I did not expect these like this cream product to end up looking so matte. It's really nice. Okay. But there you go. We got our basic coverage. I basically covered up where I need just a little bit extra coverage, and that's fine. I'm just gonna look up close and kind of blend this in right here under my eyes. Since this sets so fast, I don't think this is something that's gonna crease either. Now, where this product shines is creating contours and bronzers. So I'm basically I'm gonna stick to like the deeper shade that I use to create my base. I'm gonna add it to basically where I had it. I'm gonna add just a little bit of this cooler brown, just a tiny bit. Mix this in. You can always add more, which I think I will. See? A perfect, like, soft contour shade for me. And I can always add more as well to layer this. Just use my fingers, and I'll just go ahead and blend as I apply this because it just dries so fast. Here we go. See? And because it's like with the shades I use, you could probably mix a larger amount and then just add little bits of deeper shades as you go, just to kind of just add dimension. But I'm not sure if I would try that personally because of how fast everything dries. But maybe again with like another mixing medium, I think that will really help. But I'm basically applying this where I apply my bronzer and contour. I've gone a little bit too crazy on the, okay, let me just warm this up. I actually used to apply my contour like this when I was younger, just with my fingers. Just reminds me of those times. Look at that. Sometimes your fingers are the best tools. And so my chin. I'm at the bottom portion of my face, but again, see, I have to kind of rub it in a little hard, which I prefer to go pretty gentle on my skin. That was actually like one of the things at when I first started off my YouTube channel, I told myself that I wanted to be more gentle with my skin, especially when I apply my makeup. And I feel like this is just the opposite. But I feel like if you use more, you don't have to press in so hard. But I'm using I'm just really want to show how a little bit of product goes a long way. Look at that. I think this is the highlight of this product. Let me do a little bit here. And you can just, it's nice because you're just kind of doing it with your hands. You can use a brush, but I just think this sets down so fast. Now I'm going to take just this shade and kind of add just a little bit of brightness to my face. Where's the spatula? And I think I'll use just a touch of this one to kind of brighten up. I'm going to dab. Kind of snatch my nose a little bit. Oh, do you see how beautiful that is? I'm snatching my nose a bit. See, look at that difference. I'm gonna add this on my nose as well. Just again to clean up my contour. Just use this brush to blend out. But using your fingers really helps warm all the products up, but look at this. Really nice. I'm actually gonna go back to my eyes real quick to fill in the rest of the patches that I'm missing. And getting this nice and warmed up first. Get back to my mirror and just touching up these little areas. And yeah, that's so much better. Touching up my waterline again. I feel like at the waterline I'm not getting as much pigment. For this, I would still use like another eyeliner if you really want like a deep, rich eyeliner in your waterline. But this works fine if you can layer it up. Okay, I have my lashes done. I did 2 coats of the Lancome Lash Idol on my top lashes and then just 1 on the bottom. So for lip liner, I think I'm just gonna dip right into, I don't know, I use like this cooler tone on my lips, and I think these as lip liner shades are absolutely stunning. I think I'll go ahead and use, yeah, I think I'll use this shade. I haven't touched this one yet, so line my lips. I do have some lip balm on, let me wipe it off. This, you have to have nice hydrated lips. When I put this on earlier, I had patchy lips, and oh my goodness, I looked like that guy, the old guy, that was eating paint because he thought it was yogurt. That's what it looked like. I love that so stinking much. Okay. That's such a pretty shade. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little bit of this pinky shade and mix it in. It's like a tiny, tiny bit. And just mix it into the little bit that I have right here to get the inner lip color. And while you mix it, you can also keep it right next to each other and kind of add more pigment as you go if you want even more dimension. But I think I just want to use this in the center of my lips. I love my cool tone lips. This is gorgeous. I'm just gonna let this dry. I'm not gonna touch it. Look how gorgeous though. What do we think? Okay, the full face is done, minus a blush, right? This doesn't have a blush shade that works for me, but Made by Mitchell has a ton of other like palettes. Now, if you're a beginner and you want to try a Made by Mitchell product, I recommend the curve cases that have the like some neutral tones that you could use as contours and bronzers, and the ones with a couple blushes. You get like, I think 4 of each. And I think you can really create a lot of combinations with that set if you're a beginner. But if you really want to do a full face of makeup like this with just one palette, this is it. And this is what I achieved. And this is just my 2nd time using it. So, I mean, I am fairly good at matching foundations and products, but I use shade adjusting drops, and I have a wide array of shades in my professional kit. So I haven't tried anything like this to create the shade. So it's not a perfect shade match, but I do have the right products that will probably mix well with this product to give me a flawless shade match. So just keep that in mind. But this is a dream for contour and bronzing and like, you know, brightening shades. This is like, it is so worth it if you're looking for something where you can custom make colors. So whether you like tan faster and you just want to have a wide array of shades, this is something you can use if you practice with it and if you're willing to take the time and blend everything in. Now this sets beautifully. This is completely matte, which is why I'm amazed. I am a matte makeup girly in this. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It doesn't feel like I have anything on. So this just melts super well on the back of my hands and it just applies beautifully, but you have to work fast. Now I only use this product. I will do another one with how I will mix in other products to make this even more like an easier, flawless application. So stay tuned for that. But just, I mean, like first-ish impressions, I love this. And this is the brush you get with the kit. It's the one I use the most. I could pretty much do the whole face with just this and my fingers. But I mean, I use the other brushes for ease, but I really do like this. Now I don't know if I can use this as a mascara. Honestly, I don't really need to, because I mean, I could just take this and my mascara with me and I have my full face right here. This is all I used. And again, you can totally skip mascara as well and you look great. But let me know your thoughts. Is this something you want to grab? Now, if you're a makeup artist, I highly, highly recommend this, because this on its own is just fantastic for bronzers and contours. And I mean, I've spent a lot of money on a lot of bronzers, but this, like if I want to keep a simple kit, like say I'm flying and I need to reduce my kit, this is what I'm going to take, because this also has such a nice powdery finish. Like it just has like a matte finish. I don't need to set this. I don't know how well this wears. I'll do a couple wear tests coming up, so keep an eye out for that. And like on my socials, I'll post it there as well. But I love this product. I feel like this isn't talked about enough. So let me know your guys' thoughts. If you want to try this out, or if you do have it, how do you think I did for like my first-ish time? Let me know if you want to see any other looks with this, because you really do have a lot of space for creativity here. You can follow me on my socials to see even more updates with this, like the wear test and how I can mix this and incorporate this into my more everyday looks, and how I can use this on clients, and maybe a couple mixing tutorials. I don't know. So you guys let me know, and you can follow me on all my socials and you'll see everything there. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon. Okay, so bonus content time. Let's do the blush. So I grabbed the Cupid case. This is actually for your lips, but earlier I tested this out on my cheeks and this looks beautiful. This also has a similar like matte finish, so I don't think this is something that's gonna break down easily or like break down the layers I've created, but gorgeous. I'm just gonna use, okay, since I have like, you know, the cool tones going on, I'll stick with like a cool tone, like this like mauvey shade right here. And these are gonna have a lot of pigment. So it's going in with my finger here. Warm this up. I think I'll need a little bit more. Yeah. Use my fingers, apply exactly where I want it. And I'm not gonna try to rub my base. I don't want to mess with the layers I've created. And look at that. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Now this one, I did stick my finger in here. I'm not going to be adding this one in particular to my kit. I am going to be ordering another one because I do just want to have fun with this one. But I probably, almost certainly will be ordering another one for my kit, so I can keep everything sanitary. I am a huge clean freak when it comes to that, because I have my background in science, and a lot of my research was done with bacteria and the things I've seen and smelled. It leaves a lasting impression. So there we go. Okay, look how gorgeous that is. So, so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I went with like a lighter blush. You know, I just want to stick with the cooler tones, but I hope this is showing up well on camera, but this is gorgeous. And look, this is everything that's here. Okay, let me clean up my fingers. I mean, okay, so here's my finger, nothing on it. Rub, 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 still nothing on it. This is gonna last me.